Hey guys, Mitch here with the TheAudioDabbler YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Egoist. Now I'm not going to do a full-on tutorial. I will show you some tidbits and things along the way, but I just want to show you kind of a practical application for it, so how you can create some really quick and easy percussive elements and things for your loops and your beats and things that, you know, with items that you have laying around the house. And so I've got my daughter's little mini small djembe. I've got a 3-hole punch, a vase that sits in our living room that makes a cool little tone, and some keys and a few other things. And so let's sample that stuff and then dive into Egoist. Alright, let's sample a few things. Alright, I got the samples out of the Zoom. I have my just stuck my SD card into my MacBook. I'm not trying to be completely iOS, like have to do everything iOS. I mean, I got a MacBook Pro, mid 2004 MacBook Pro sitting here, so why not use it? It's a lot, for me, it's a lot quicker to pop it in, rename the files, and the beauty about Egoist, and I will show you that inside the app, is you can enable iCloud backup kind of thing. And so now I'm on my iCloud, and I can go under Egoist, under samples, under users here, and now I can just from my desktop drop files into that folder, and when I pull up on my iPad, they should be there. It's just awesome, little things like that. So definitely recommend enabling that option. Alright, so this is Egoist, and it is kind of like a little beat sample slicer kind of thing. It has a slicer section, it has a bass and beat section, has some built-in effects with a little matrix down here at the bottom that can, let me turn my mouse on. A little matrix down here at the bottom so that you can kind of turn on the effects and off the effects and do some fun stuff like this. This last tab down here is where some of the settings are, and if you look here, maybe it's just under settings, you've got audio, MIDI, iCloud. Now this iCloud sync is what I was telling you about. You need to turn on in order to get access to that user folder on iCloud. That way I can drop files from here. Now I will say that so these are presets up at the top, and there's one, if you go under SugarBytes A all the way to the bottom here, there's one called Empty, and it's kind of a zeroed out patch, which is really nice. Thank you, SugarBytes, for including a init patch. That way I don't have to go through and create it. And then this is the slicer section. If you click on here, you've got all these, and it's got a ton of built-in stuff. But you also have your user, and if you enable the user folder, you know, things you drop in there will appear. Now, when I first opened it up, it didn't really seem to appear, but maybe I didn't get enough time to sync. I did go in and I clicked import, file import, and then I just chose the first sample that I knew I had just recently added to the folder. And whenever I went back in, all the other samples were there. So I'm not for sure if there could be a sync issue. I will try some different things later. But let's go ahead and let's just try out this. Let's import this 3-hole punch. Now you'll see that it doesn't look like there's a lot of volume, but over here at the max out, I can increase that, so it kind of, I think it kind of levels everything out and adds some extra volume to it. So this is a sample, and you can see it kind of detects transients. I can adjust the sensitivity to less or more, or you can have it completely random, or if you want it to do even slices, you can do even slices. If you have a loop and you know that you have it divided up into 16 separate slices, then you can easily do it that way, or you can just adjust the sensitivity and it'll kind of detect the things on its own. And then, so that's kind of that. You can pitch things around, and so let's just press play up here at the top. And it's just triggering sample 1 because that's where, you know, sample 1 is. And so I like to hit this little random button. And as you can see, this max, I can kind of increase the kind of the compression. I feel like it compresses some and makes them a little louder to kind of even things out. So that's fun. So already we've got a cool little thing going on. So let me go over here to this bass and beat section. Let me just add in just a basic rock kind of kit, to where we have just a standard furl on the floor, and let me make sure up here is where you can kind of mute things. Let me find a good, there we go. Just kind of a basic little beat. You know, nothing crazy. You can swing it if you want to. Okay, so then whenever I turn this slicer on, you can just see, just listen to the dynamics that it adds. It's already awesome. You know, just this one little thing like this, and you know, it is AUV3, so you can have multiple things of these running at the same time, which is great. I'm just running it in standalone right now. But what I really like about it is how simple it is. So I don't have to use this, you know, I don't have to use its Egoist kicks and snare and hi-hat. So I can mute, you know, and I can mute the bass if I want to. And you can see these 16 patterns down here. So this is kind of, it's got 16 patterns, and each part can, you know, be, you've got all these different parts that you can have, and then you can start arranging a song by the different parts that can contain different patterns. Okay, and whenever you go to export, if you go down here and you click on bounce, this is, I guess this is the bread and butter of this video. It's just how you can create something and easily just bounce it out, bounce another one out, bounce another one out, and, you know, kind of build up, you know, a few things that you want to do. Is it's going to bounce whatever you have selected. So if I have this one selected and it's 1 bar, which it is, then what's going to happen is if I go to Egoist and I go to bounce and I click add, it's going to tell me to add, and then I can click here. Might as well just turn on my keyboard so that I can just type this in, and this is 3 hole punch 1. 3 hole punch, let's do -1. Dash, what am I at? I think I'm at 120. Okay, so now I click save and it'll save it. Now if I want to share, I can click on it, and now I can share it, throw it wherever I want to. But also, because I have iCloud Sync, if I go here to my Files app, go out, I go to Bounces, now I have 3 hole punch. I have that little loop. So it's already in my Files app. And so now if I want to import that into another app, that is awesome. And I can just go browse to that Egoist file and be done with it. So that was kind of the slicer. And you know, another cool thing, fun thing that I like to do is down here at the bottom, you've got this copy, so I can copy that. I can click on pattern 2. So this was, I was kind of confused a little bit about this, is like, oh, 1 sample and, you know, just using different ones. But you can import literally all 16 of these could have 16 different samples that you're pulling from. And so you could, you know, just do some crazy things with it. This is copy, this is paste. So now I just pasted everything that was in the first one into the second one, and now I can kind of randomize this portion of it. Okay, and I can do the same thing. I can copy, put this, paste it into 3, randomize it again. Maybe randomize the pitch a little bit. Okay, and so now what we can do, say let's go to part, okay? Let's say we want this to be 4-part. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. Now when I press play, and so now you got a little 4-bar loop. Now let me show you what I was talking about. Now that I've selected this part here, when I go to bounce and add, let me click out of that. I can go 3 hole punch. Let's just 4-bar at 120. And save. And now if I go back to the files, 3 hole punch 4-bar. Now I have a 4-bar loop that I can use and import anywhere I want to, which is really nice. I just like how quick and easy I can just import and export things. Okay, so now let's just go back. I don't want to save this. Let's go empty. And now let's try, I'm interested to try the vase. Turn the sensitivity down a little bit. And So when I was recording earlier, whenever I was recording the vase, I noticed that whenever I started recording the djembe, it was really loud. But you can grab this little bar up here at the top, and I could slide this in, and so now I am just focused on the vase part, and I can go back and I can just hit the sensitivity, and then it's only going to be looking at this little section of it. And now I can randomize it again. So that adds a little bit. Let's increase the volume here. And so, I mean, we're already grooving. I mean, and two, if I wanted to export this with the drum beat already there, then I could do that. And so I could just go back to this right here, click add, call this one vase and bass. Vase and bass 1 at 120. And then boom, we got vase and bass 1 at 120. Let's go to the Files app, just show you what it recorded and show you that it did record the bass drum and the other stuff with it. And there's that, you know, one bar. And so let's go back to Egoist. And so you could build up a whole, so if you wanted to go in and start arranging parts, you could copy parts. So when you copy the part, and I click down here and I paste, and I go over here, see everything, it'll copy everything down here at the bottom. Now all of these little sections have their own little copy. Like you can copy this and paste, copy and paste. All of them have a random function as well. You can randomize the pitch on this one. And you know, get some different dynamic ranges. It's just a whole lot of fun just to create things really quickly. Little fills, and even if you know, just find something around the house and sample it and put it in here. Even if you don't know where it's going to fit, it's really simple to just go through it and do that. So let's try one more. I feel like the keys may give a good, nice little thing. And when you hit the random button, just to note, it's only going to randomize the slices that it has. So this right here only has 9 slices initially. It's only going to do 9. But if I increase the sensitivity and I re-randomize it, it's going to go all the 16. If I bring it down and re-randomize it. Ooh. See, I just love the randomness because it just kind of get that little whoop. It's just so much fun. So I definitely like that, and so I could save this as a preset if I want. So let's just call this one fun keys beat. Almost funky beat, but it's fun keys beat. So yeah, I could just maybe throw in a couple little hats here. And so that's something that, you know, I may not have even came up with, but because I just hit that random button, it's got that little bloop thing at the end, and it's just so much fun to do all of this stuff. And let me go ahead and I kind of want to take the beat out. I didn't even hit the bass in this video. Let's call this fun key perk 120 and save, and there you go. And so you can just see how quickly you can just take a few things around the house and, you know, just sample it, throw it into Egoist, and just get some crazy randomized stuff here. Let me paste this in one more time and let me randomize that. Keep the pitch the same, so maybe I'll get another little fun little twerky thing. So that's completely different than it was before. And so you just hit random, keep hitting random until you get a little added percussion that you want, and then you've built up a whole sample little percussion loops that you can start pulling from, making your own little sample libraries with things that you may not even know you have a place for until you are kind of just searching around. You're like, oh man, I remember, you know, doing this, and boom, there you have it. So Egoist, definitely recommend this app. It's so much fun. I will dive in and do a little more in-depth tutorial on it, but I just wanted to get that out there, just how to create some really fun and funky little slices and, you know, little additional percussion elements to add to your beats to make them come more alive. I like using little found sounds around the house. If you like this video, you enjoyed it, and you learned something, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. It's really appreciated. Alright, so if you've made it this far in the video, I just want to thank you. Thank you for watching. I'm trying to do more videos this year, 2020. Not necessarily New Year's resolution, just a thing of I'm just trying to get a little more focused. I'm trying to actually make some music this year and things. And so in the comments below, what kind of videos would you like to see me dive into? I do have a few products that I need to do some videos on. I'm getting some, not necessarily sponsor, but definitely getting some small little companies contacting me with items for me to review on my channel. And so that is very welcome. But other than that, what kind of things would you like to see me do on this channel? Just leave comments below, and I will take all of your advice and suggestions, and I will put them in a hat, and I will just start banging away at some videos, and hopefully I can be a lot more productive this year than I was last year. Take it easy, guys.